"Surprise, Spencer. Wake up. Happy 3-year anniversary," my boyfriend, Nathaniel, said, serving me ham and eggs on a tray while I was still in bed. He left the room and quickly returned with a cup of fresh brewed coffee, made just the way I like it. "You're an angel," I said. Nathaniel was tall, was strong, and had a mind as sharp as a laser, which he used all the time because, if all goes well, he goes before the bar in about a year. He's currently a paid intern at a local firm. His light blonde hair and clear eyes had made me fall in love with him the moment I saw him. He stood before me, casually smiling, and mostly dressed. He had only to button up his silvery shirt, put on a tie and jacket, and head out. When had he found the time to make breakfast? I hate morning people. Nathaniel leaned over, kissed me, and said, "I love you, but I know how busy you can get at Marston's. Remember, our reservations are at the Regal for 6 o'clock. Don't be late. They'll only hold the table for 15 minutes. Everything's arranged so you can have the perfect night. We'll go dancing and—" "Sounds good," I mindlessly interrupted. "What was today again?" Nathaniel looked at me for a moment, then threw a pillow at me. He leaned in and intimately said, "You're horrible. It's our anniversary, sleepyhead, and we're celebrating at the Regal." The Regal restaurant, the most exclusive and best restaurant in Las Vegas. It's on the top floor of one of the hotels and overlooks the Vegas Strip. The view is spectacular. The food is more so. A text came from my mother, and I momentarily ignored my boyfriend as I read out loud. "I want to spend today with my special boy. Let's do dinner. I won't take no for an answer." "She pulled the same crap on our last anniversary," Nathaniel said, "and on every Valentine's Day. She only wants to have dinner with her special boy. Doesn't she realize we're a couple?" "I can't say no to my mom," I said. "You're kidding," Nathaniel said, "but you can say no to me." "Don't be sensitive about this," I said, becoming annoyed. "I know how to solve this. Add Mom to our reservation. Surely the Regal can do that." "Can't you do anything without your mom?" he said. "Haven't you realized that she destroyed your other 2 relationships by pulling the same kind of crap? Cut the apron strings already." "Mom loves me," I shouted. "Besides, you are exaggerating. Why do you hate my mother?" Nathaniel held his breath a moment before finally saying, "Our reservation is for 2, and only 2, no more." "What's the big deal? Just change it to 3, I said. "Mom is coming with us." "Spencer, today is our 3rd-year anniversary," Nathaniel said, "and it's supposed to be just the 2 of us. It's our private, romantic holiday. Besides, this is the 15th time you've brought your mother on one of our dates, or dumped me so you could be with her." "I can't believe you kept track," I shouted. "You are completely annoying. Just change the reservations to 3 right now." Nathaniel folded his arms, gave me a patient smile, and said, "I can't. Their reservation desk opens at 4. "Well, make sure you change it, and I'll tell Mom to wear something fancy," I said. "She hasn't been to a place this nice since Dad divorced her." "Spencer, you're not listening to me," Nathaniel said. "This is our night, not hers. The reservation is for 2. I tried to be patient, but I think I yelled a little bit when I said, "For a man that interns at a law firm, how can you be so dense? Mom is coming, and that's final. You will change the reservation from 2 people to 3 people. I'll take an Uber to work, and you'll drive, and then you come and pick us up because I want to get drunk tonight so I won't be able to drive. And you know how bad traffic can be, especially around the Strip. So you will drive." Nathaniel nodded a little, but his odd, sad smile annoyed me. "What now?" I asked. "Sir, I will be a good, obedient chauffeur and pick both you and your mother up," Nathaniel said. "Do you want me to call you an Uber before I leave?" "Just do what I tell you," I said, suddenly feeling really annoyed at my boyfriend. On the way to work, I told Mom about tonight, and she actually squealed. She also said, Nathaniel didn't want me to come along? How rude! I didn't like him anyway. You can do better." "We've been together for 3 years, Mom, and he arranged tonight, so be a little nicer to him," I said. "Say thank you or something." "I know what's best for my boy," she said, "and it's not Mr. Rude." Work was weird. I work at the Marston brokerage, and I make good money, almost double what Nathaniel makes, at least until he finishes the graduate program. The weird part? Everybody kept looking at me, hiding a smile, and when they didn't think I was looking, some of the ladies seemed to swoon. Some giggled. They gossiped among themselves and suddenly shut up when I came around. I caught one saying, "I wish I had the rest of the week off." At closing time, my boss, old Mr. Marston, son of ancient Mr. Marston, actually smiled at me and said, "Have fun, I heard it's fresh powder." His secretary gave me a look like the cat had eaten the prize goldfish, and she suddenly screamed, "We're having fresh powdered donuts in the break room. That's what he meant, right?" There were no fresh powdered donuts in the break room. Weird day. Near closing time, I received a text from Nathaniel. "I have arrived to take you and your mother to the Regal restaurant, sir." He was waiting out front of my office. What surprised me was that he had driven my car and had dressed in a black chauffeur uniform, and in a stiff upper-crust British accent he said, "Sir, I've taken the liberty of washing and vacuuming your car, sir, and am chilling and airing the champagne, sir. Would you like a glass on your way to your mother's house, or would you rather wait?" Nathaniel opened the rear door and, with a bow, gestured for me to enter. He wore white driving gloves in addition to the black suit and bow tie. In the middle of the back seat was a silver ice bucket with an open bottle of champagne. "Why are you acting so weird?" I snorted. "If sir would get in the car, please. One doesn't want to be late for their reservation," Nathaniel said. "Whatever," I said, and slid into the seat. My boyfriend can be so annoying. We drove, not speaking to each other for most of the drive to my mother's place. As we turned onto her street, I finally said, "Why aren't you talking?" "My apologies, sir, but a good servant does not talk unless spoken to," Nathaniel said. But there was something cold in his voice. Was Nathaniel still mad about this morning? About me inviting my mother on our anniversary party? He is so unbelievably selfish. Of course I'm going to bring my mother. We picked up my mother, and my boyfriend still kept up the chauffeur act. "Sir, madame, may I pour your champagne now?" Nathaniel said. He pulled 2 champagne glasses from the front seat and handed them to me and Mom, and filled them. Mom sipped hers, slid into the back seat, checked the champagne label. She clucked her tongue and said, "This is authentic champagne imported from the Champagne area in France, and honey, it was bottled on your birth year." What a strange coincidence, I sighed. Whatever game Nathaniel was playing, I didn't want to play. I was getting a headache. Must be the champagne. We pulled up in front of the hotel, right at the valet entrance. Valet service at this kind of hotel was the preferred way to go, but it wasn't cheap. My boyfriend opened the door for my mother first, letting her exit. Then he opened my door and patiently waited for me to exit. Of course, Mom said, "Nathaniel, I expect you to behave like I'm a queen every time you see me." "Yes, madam," Nathaniel said, and then he turned to me and added, "Sir, the reservations are under your name, and everything is already paid for. Please enjoy yourselves." "Finally, you're going to be useful," Mom sneered. I turned to my boyfriend, an odd bit of panic in my stomach, and asked, "You're not coming with us?" "I'm sorry, sir. I need to take care of the car," he said. "Please hurry so you don't miss your reservation." Mom had already walked inside. This was one of the nicest hotels, with statues and waterfalls and marble floors and ceilings so high you could skydive under them. It must cost a fortune to stay here. Mom and I rode the elevator up to the top floor. The Regal restaurant took up the whole floor, and it is always busy. Black lacquer tables with spotless tablecloths, silverware polished to mere perfection, sculpted hardwood walls, gold-tinted mirrors, candles on every table, dim mood lighting to make it romantic, even a hardwood dance floor and live band. Waiters and waitresses wore crisp black uniforms and crisper white shirts, and they bustled around like bees. The Regal lived up to its reputation. People packed this place, and all were dressed in finery. These were the upper crust of Vegas society. Mom and I went to the front desk, and I told the maitre d' my name. He immediately said, "The Regal wishes you and Nathaniel a happy anniversary. Nathaniel has prepared for everything and planned the evening so you'll be able to enjoy yourself. Please follow me." He immediately led us to a table for two overlooking the Vegas Strip. The lights of this city were starting to come on, making it look magical. Nathaniel had timed this to the second. Something seemed off, so I turned to the maitre d' and asked, "There's supposed to be 3 chairs here, right?" "No, sir," he said. "This table is for 2. "Can't you bring a chair over?" I asked. "Fire regulations permit high chairs at the end of a table, but not regular seating," he said. "Can't we have a table for 3? I asked. "That is not an option. Something like that needs to be scheduled with the original reservation, which is usually made 6 months in advance," the maitre d' said. 6 months? When did Nathaniel make the reservation? I asked. 2 months ago. He was fortunate because he was able to assume the reservation his boss had made. The maitre d' replied, "Your wine will arrive shortly." "Wait a second. This reservation originally belonged to his boss?" I asked. "And his boss gave it to him?" "That is correct," the maitre d' said. Seriously, Nathaniel had pulled some high-class strings so we could eat here on our anniversary, and now he couldn't even enjoy it? "Don't I get a menu or something?" Mom said. "Everything has been pre-ordered and prepaid for, ma'am," the maitre d' said, "unless you'd like to pay for it yourself." "You expect me to pay, so what do I get?" Mom said. "I don't have the reservation details in front of me," he said. "I'll have the waiter in charge of your table talk to you." "Lousy restaurant," Mom said. I looked at Mom and said, "You're getting a free meal out of this, so be nice." "Good thing Nathaniel isn't here. Now I can spend some time with my little boy," Mom said. "You like spending time with your mother." "Don't you get it?" I said. "Nathaniel paid for everything, and because you came along, he couldn't." "Don't get annoyed with your mom," Mom said. "It was your boyfriend's choice, not mine." Before I could respond, 3 waiters entered the restaurant carrying armfuls of red roses. The band began playing Perfect by Leroy Sanchez, our song, the song that played in the background the night me and Nathaniel met. The first waiter placed the first 12 roses in my arms. "Let this represent the love you and Nathaniel share." Then the next 24 roses were placed in vases on our table. Then the lead waiter took one of the roses, pulled the petals off, and scattered the scarlet petals across the table. It looked like red snow was falling. The lead waiter then said, "In honor of the love between Spencer and Nathaniel, 1 rose for every month you've been together." Mom snorted. "You've got the wrong idea," I said. "That's my mom. Nathaniel's not here." The waiter nodded his head and said, "We have been made aware, but that does not change the program. I'll bring your next gift in a few moments. Would you like it before your meal or after?" "Before," Mom said. "I'm sorry, ma'am," the waiter said. "As it is not your anniversary, it is not your place to say. Sir, when would you like your gift?" "Before, I guess," I said. 36 roses, representing 36 months? That's as long as me and Nathaniel have been together. And he arranged and paid for an incredible anniversary dinner for me at the best restaurant in Vegas? Because of me insisting Mom come, he couldn't be here to enjoy it. I think I had goofed up. Still, Mom needs a night out. Nathaniel will understand. The waiter brought a standing ice bucket with a bottle of champagne. Mom checked the label and said, "It's the same champagne that was in the car, and it is dated on your birth year, Spencer. Your boyfriend is cheap. He must have bought them on discount." "No, ma'am," the waiter said. "That wine is a high-end French import that just arrived yesterday." "Was it special ordered?" I asked. The waiter placed chilled wine glasses on our table and began to pour the champagne. 5 bottles were special ordered 2 months ago, he said. My boyfriend had been planning this anniversary surprise for 2 months? Before I could ask any more questions, a waitress left the kitchen area carrying a snowboard custom painted with my name on it and wrapped with a big white bow, and she brought it to me. She handed me the snowboard, a card, and said, "Happy anniversary, Spencer." I set the snowboard next to me. Mom snatched the card from the waitress and opened it. I looked over the snowboard. My anniversary present? Painted with a geometric design, it was a combination of blue, black, and silver. It also had a date engraved inside. The date Nathaniel and I first went snowboarding together. My heart stopped. Dinner at the best restaurant in Vegas, expensive imported wine, 3 dozen roses, and now a snowboard? My boyfriend had spent a fortune on our anniversary tonight, and because I had invited my mom, he couldn't be here. You know that little bit of panic that was in my stomach? It became a big lump of panic in my stomach. Why do I think I screwed up? "Read the card, Mom," I said. Mom cleared her throat and said, "To my beloved," and then she rolled her eyes. "What's the rest of it say, Mom?" "Every day I've been with you has been heaven," she read, "and I hope to give you a little bit of heaven tonight. I pray we can be together for the rest of our lives. This is the first clue as to the big surprise coming later," Mom read. And then she said, "Are you feeling all right, honey? You look pale. You know Nathaniel is a horrible person, right? He's love-bombing you. I bet you don't even love him." "He went all out for our anniversary," I said, "just like Dad used to do for you, before things went bad." "Well," Mom said, "if you really love Nathaniel, and since you make more money than he does, what did you get him for your anniversary?" I wanted to crawl under the table and hide when I said, "Nothing. I forgot about it." A triumphant smile crossed Mom's face, and she said, "I was right. You don't love him." I sipped the champagne, feeling a little odd. Maybe I'm reading too much into this. 5 bottles of imported champagne, though? One was in the car, one was at the table with us. Where were the other 3? Did that mean there were 3 more gifts? He'd spent 2 months planning for tonight, and I didn't even get him a tie. Mom kept blabbing, and I tried to make small talk, but couldn't pay attention. Our meal arrived. Panko-crusted salmon with haricot vert and a cream sauce for me, and the brisket with a tomato balsamic vinaigrette reduction and peppered cream corn for Mom. "What's this?" Mom said. "Don't I get to choose anything?" "That's Nathaniel's favorite, and this is mine," I said. "I don't get it," Mom said. "I'm your mother." "Nathaniel pre-ordered and prepaid for everything," I said. "If I don't get what I want, this is going to be the worst night ever. I'm your mother," she said. "Nathaniel doesn't respect me. What are you going to do about him treating me with such disrespect?" I looked at the panko-crusted fish and played with it, not eating. "Mom, you pushed yourself into this, remember? And because of that, you pushed Nathaniel out, and I let you." "Are you saying this is my fault?" Mom said. "I'm your mother." "It's my fault," I said, "because I should have told you no." "I'm your mother," Mom yelled, "and you will never say no to me. Your boyfriend is filling your head with bad ideas. Imagine choosing him over your own loving and caring mother." "He made breakfast for me this morning," I said. "Well, I won't have it. I gave birth to you, and I raised you. You owe me your respect and your love," Mom said. "Now give me your dinner because I don't like this one." "No," I said. "Can't you see what your boyfriend is doing? He's trying to split us up," Mom said. I ignored her and tried the salmon. Delicious, but I couldn't eat. "Sir, your next hint," the waiter said, and he handed me a slim black box. "There's more gifts?" Mom said. "Hints," the waiter said. The lump of panic had turned into a mountain. Roses, a new snowboard, a very nice meal. I had destroyed my boyfriend's romantic plans. I opened the box and closed it just as quickly. This was not happening. It can't be happening. And Mom was in front of me. The lump of panic turned into horror. What had I done? "What is it now?" Mom said, snatching the box from my hands. She opened it and blushed. The box contained 2 black diamond condoms, a tube of Simply Silk lubricant for men, 2 bow ties, and 2 pair of black lace lingerie boxers, the see-through kind. Almost as an afterthought, there was a small brick of snowboard wax. All were nestled in a bed of rose petals. It also contained a note. "Have you figured it out yet? Kiss me if you need another clue. Or just kiss me because you love me. I love you. Nathaniel, XOXOXOXO." Mom turned bright red and slammed the top on the box. "Condoms! You can't! Not with him! I won't let you! He's not good for you!" I toyed with my food and calmly said, "We've talked about getting married once he graduates, Mom. Look at what Nathaniel's given me. 5 bottles of imported wine, dinner at the Regal, 3 dozen roses, a snowboard, and now some intimate gear, and snowboard wax. Nathaniel has been planning this surprise for 2 months. Mom kept saying negative things about Nathaniel while I ate half of my dinner. Mom didn't even try hers. As I was thinking about the night and fighting the hippopotamuses rampaging through my stomach, the waiter came to our table and said, "Spencer, the band is ready." "For what?" I asked. "Your special song, for a special dance. And your next hint," the waiter said. "I will send your food and your roses and your snowboard down to your room while you and your mom are dancing." "Tell me what is going on," Mom ordered. "Ma'am," the waiter said, "Nathaniel has planned out this entire night to show how much he loves Spencer. Please come to the dance floor for your next clue." This night had gone embarrassing. "Did you say room?" Mom asked. "Nathaniel had requested the honeymoon suite," the waiter said, "but it wasn't available. Staff has been working on a special room so you can enjoy the night. I have to tell you, getting that many lights was hard, but it looks very nice. We'll bring the next hint to the dance floor." "Another gift?" Mom said. "Quiet, Mom," I said. After helping her stand, I led her to the dance floor. The lights dimmed, and only 2 people were on the dance floor, me and Mom. Nathaniel had planned this to be one of the romantic highlights of my life. But now, tonight was a train wreck. I had brought my mother. How could I have been so stupid? The band played a cover of Perfect by Leroy Sanchez, the song that became our song. It was intimate and slow, the kind of dance where partners are close enough to kiss. And I was here with my mom instead of the man I loved. I stiffly held Mom at a distance. Nathaniel had gone all out. He wasn't kidding when he said there were only 2 reservations. What else had he planned? Halfway through the song, a photographer came up and snapped pictures of me and my mom awkwardly dancing. "What's going on?" Mom asked. "Professional photos so the 2 lovers can always remember this night and celebrate their love," she said. "Get away from us," Mom screeched. "I'm only doing my job," the photographer said. She took one more picture and left. "You need to leave Nathaniel right now," Mom said. "I've never been so humiliated. I want you to pack your clothes and get back home as soon as we leave." "You were never supposed to be here, Mom. Nathaniel did all of this for me," I said. "I have never liked him," Mom said. The song ended, and another waiter brought out a large box. He handed it to me and said, "Another hint. Please enjoy." In the middle of the dance floor, I opened the box while the band continued playing our song. The next gift was a one-piece sky blue jumpsuit, perfect for snowboarders, my favorite color. That wasn't all that was in the box. It also contained matching gloves, new boots, and a matching beanie. "Isn't it sweet how much Nathaniel loves Spencer?" the band leader suddenly said. "Everybody, give them a hand." As everybody clapped, I held up the jumpsuit next to me. Mom turned bright red. I was in a daze. Imported wine, dinner at the Regal, 3 dozen roses, a snowboard, intimate gear, snowboard wax, and now a snowboard jumpsuit? Nathaniel had been planning this for 2 months. Nathaniel had been trying to make this the happiest night of my life. And what do? I demand he bring my complaining mother, and in the process, ruin the plans Nathaniel had for me. Why didn't he tell me? Because it was a damn surprise. Who in their right mind would bring their mother to an intimate anniversary party? I'm an idiot. "I'll make sure this gift gets to your room as well," the waiter said. "At this time, I'm supposed to give you the card key for your room. You can continue dancing or go to your room. An intimate dessert will also be served." He handed me a small plastic card key. "Who ever heard of an intimate dessert?" Mom sneered. "Your boyfriend is love-bombing you. He wants something. You need to leave his gold-digging butt in the gutter." "You still don't get it, Mom," I said. "Nathaniel paid for all of this, and he makes less money than I do. Do you think this is the first time we've eaten at the Regal? We've come here together many times." "I don't like him," Mom said, "and you need to dump him." I took a deep breath, looked at the key card, and went to the elevators. Mom followed, saying, "I never liked him. You can do much better. Can't you see what's happening? It's obvious Nathaniel doesn't respect me. I mean, I couldn't even order my own dinner without having to pay for it." Frustrated, I softly said, "So I should be bitter and lonely like you?" "You will not talk to me like that," Mom said, "so shut up." I shut up, and we rode the elevator down. Only 2 floors? The room Nathaniel had reserved was a large room. 2 bellhops were delivering my presents and flowers to the room. They stepped aside to let us in her. A waiter had just rolled in a cart with a mound of fresh strawberries, and a milk chocolate dip, a white chocolate dip, and a cream cheese dip. Our intimate dessert. The main lights were off. More than 100 electronic tea lights surrounded the room, making it intimate and warm. Another bellhop turned down the sheets, placed the black box with the condoms near a pillow, and sprinkled rose petals all over the bed. The sound of water came from the bathroom. This room had its own jacuzzi, and another person ran the water and tossed rose petals into the water. 2 large white fluffy robes lay on the bed. Rose petals littered the floor, and a soft smell I couldn't identify filtered through the room. A standing silver wine bucket stood by the bed, chilling in ice, opened and ready to drink. The 3rd bottle of the imported wine. Imported French wine, 3 dozen roses, dinner at the Regal, intimate gear, a snowboard, snowboard wax, a new snowboard suit with gloves and goggles, and now a hotel room set up for a night of intimacy and passion. Nathaniel had planned an erotic night for the 2 of us, and I had brought my mother. As everybody was leaving, the bellhop said, "Have you figured out Nathaniel's big present yet? You now have all the clues." "There's more?" Mom shrieked. Stunned, I stared at the snowboard and said, "What do you mean?" "You have a 10 a.m. wake-up call, and I would recommend waking up at 9:30, the bellhop said. "That way you'll have plenty of time for breakfast in bed, which Nathaniel has already ordered. And you know how Vegas is. Traffic can be so random, especially when you have a flight to catch. Best to leave early." "Flight?" Mom asked. "I don't see any tickets," I said. When the bellhop said the next words, I felt gut-punched. He didn't leave them with us, so I guess he planned to give them to you personally. My boyfriend's long-term secret plan suddenly clicked. A new snowboard, a new jumpsuit, new goggles, the office staff at my work muttering about taking the rest of the week off, and now a flight. Nathaniel had said he'd made only 2 reservations. 2 reservations at the restaurants, 2 for the room, 2 plane tickets, and I bet there was another room for 2 when we got to the ski lodge, wherever that was. Nathaniel had planned an intimate ski trip just for us 2. And what did I do? I brought my mother. A slow burning anger formed in my heart, not at Nathaniel, but at me. I had been so stupid. My boyfriend had secretly spoken with my boss so I could take 2 days off, and my boss approved. What had he said? Fresh powder? He knew about tonight. They all did. Then were all the roses yet another clue? I hate Nathaniel, my mom ranted. Don't you get it? Your boyfriend is trying to come between us. Your boyfriend has never respected me and is turning you against me. When your father refused to forgive me, I didn't have anyone left except you. You are my boy. I need you. But you changed when you met Nathaniel. You used to be so sweet to me and treat me better. But you're angry at me lately. You're not allowed to be angry. I'm your mother. I raised you. When your father left me, it was me who did everything for you. I ignored Mom and thought back on the day. Oh no. My boyfriend had even made me breakfast this morning to make today a little bit more special. Aren't you listening to me? Mom yelled. Shut up, Mom, I yelled. It all makes sense. Nathaniel was going to surprise me with a snowboarding trip to the Mount Rose ski resort over in Tahoe. It has its own small airport, so we could easily fly there. He spent thousands to surprise me with a romantic weekend. And what did I do for him? I brought my bitter, angry mother who can't stop complaining and whining. Mom walked over and slapped me. I am your mother, and you will obey me. Something else became crystal clear. Something about my 2 previous relationships. As I thought back, even my high school boyfriends never stuck around. I turned to Mom and asked, Did you purposely force yourself on us because you wanted to ruin our anniversary? You've done that with our other anniversaries, and Valentine's Day, and even my birthdays. You are cruel to everybody I date. You've been sabotaging all my relationships, making all my boyfriends leave. And now you're trying to get Nathaniel out of the picture? Answer me, why are you doing this? I was shouting. Mom went quiet. You lying, conniving, backstabbing, hateful snake, I shouted. You made sure that nobody stuck around me so I'd have to stick around you. To everybody I dated, you were the mean old mother that nobody could stand. Meanwhile, you were all smiles and ice cream to me. Did you even act like that to my boyfriends back in high school? Of course you did. Honey, she said, you're taking it all wrong. I was only trying to keep people from hurting you, like your father did me. You mean when he left you because you cheated on him, and then your lover returned to his wife, and then you played the victim so you could win custody of me? I said. You knew? She asked. You screamed at Dad so much I heard everything, I said. You wanted to stick it to Dad because he would never take a cheater back, so to get your revenge, you kept me from him. Believe me, it wasn't revenge, she said. I love you. Yes, I made mistakes, but I know how bad things can go. It's better you stick with me. Mom knows best, and you are my family. I need you to be with me. I'm lonely all the time. Let me get this right, I said. You cheat on Dad. He dumps you. Your lover dumps you. You use me and the courts to punish Dad because you think that you cheating on everybody was Dad's fault? You were the reason our family broke up, and yet you blame Dad for everything going wrong? It was all your fault. It's not like that, Mom screamed. But I talked over her. Over the years, you've become mean and bitter. I will never forgive you for ruining my relationships with all the people I loved, isolating me away from my dad, and especially with Nathaniel. I'm your mother, and everything I've done is for you, she yelled. I walked over to the house phone and called customer service. You are better off without Nathaniel, or any of the others, Mom said. Sarcastically, I said, Yippee, My mom wants me to turn into a bitter, revengeful, mean old shrew just like her. Thanks for destroying the best things in my life." "Listen to me," Mom started to say, but customer service was suddenly on my phone. "How can I help you?" a woman said. "I'd like some help taking some things to my car. I'm checking out," I said. "Very good, sir. I will let them know. Your account has already been paid for. You can leave at any time." After the call, Mom said, "We're leaving. It's about time." "No, Mom," I said. "I'm leaving. I'm cutting the first apron string. I'm blocking your cell phone." "What?" Mom screeched. I pulled up contacts, found Mom's cell, and blocked it. "I'm your mother," she yelled. "Now I'm cutting the second apron string," I said, and opened up contacts to my mom's home phone and work phone. I blocked them both. "You can't do that. Who ever heard of a son blocking his loving mother?" she yelled. "You're not loving," I said. "You've nuked every chance I've had to find love, especially with Nathaniel." A soft knock sounded at the door, and I let the bellhop in. "You'll see these get to my car? The roses, the leftovers from the Regal, the jumpsuit, the snowboard, everything?" He nodded. "Yes, sir. I'm sorry things didn't work out for you." "Me too," I said. This should have been the perfect date, but Mom had ruined it. Correction, I had invited Mom, which meant that I had ruined it. I called my boyfriend and put it on speaker. He answered on the first ring. Before he could speak, I quickly said, "I never thanked you for breakfast and for putting up with me. I'm sorry about tonight." "I've been doing some thinking," Nathaniel said. His voice quavered. "About what?" I asked. Some part of me knew that things were about to get worse. "Us," he said. He spoke fast, as if the words were rushing out and he couldn't stop them. "There is no way for anyone who loves you to squeeze between you and your mommy. Your mommy has hung on to you so tight that she's crippled you. My God, you're 24, Spencer, but you can't go anywhere without your mommy, and you can't make even the simplest decisions without her approval. She's destroyed the independent man you could have been. I will stop trying to win your heart, because Mommy already owns it. I'm done fighting. Goodbye." The bellhop wisely pretended that he didn't hear anything. I understood now why Nathaniel drove my car, so me and Mom would have a way to get home. I already told him that I chose Mom over him, this morning when I demanded Mom come, and he had merely listened to what I said. It had been over this morning, and I had never realized it. "But I love you," I whispered. "Did you ask Mommy's permission?" he softly said, and hung up. Mom started to cry. I didn't understand why. She'd won. The pain shredded my heart. I felt like crying too, but I had to keep it together. How had my life gotten so destroyed? The sadness was like a sledgehammer. The stained glass window that was my soul was now in a million pieces. Life changes in an instant. Can you grow up in an instant too? Can your feelings about someone change in an instant? Something inside me went cold. My worldview completely changed. I was filled with nothing but resentment. Resentment towards Mom, resentment towards me, towards how immature I've been, how blind I've been, how dumb I've been. Mom placed a hand on my shoulder. I swatted it off, yelling, "Don't touch me," and walked away. Mom started following and said, "Did you really love Nathaniel?" "I will never talk to you again," I said, my voice slowly rising to a shout. "I will never forgive you. Go ahead, tell everybody I'm the bad guy, because I never want to see you again for the rest of my life. Third apron string cut. Find your own way home, because I'm so angry I don't know what I'll do." "Wait," Mom yelled, but I kept on walking. "Nathaniel's right," Mom said, in the quietest voice I've ever heard her use. "I didn't want to let go of you. I didn't want to be alone. You were right that because I cheated on your father, nobody wanted anything to do with me. You were my only family, and I did anything to keep you around. Any special occasion you two had, I made sure I was there." I couldn't let Nathaniel have you. I had to destroy his love. Don't you understand? I couldn't let you fall in love because then you'd leave me. I wanted Nathaniel out of your life so you'd stay in mine." "What are you saying?" I said. "You did all this on purpose? Do you know how sick that makes you sound?" Mom nodded and said, "I've been selfish. I didn't want you to find love. I've ruined what should have been a romantic night. Nathaniel's right. I keep destroying your life because I'm just a sad old woman." "Mom," I said, "are you okay?" "You heard what he said. I've crippled you and held you back. I need to let you go so you can experience your own life," Mom said. "If I don't let you go, you'll grow to hate me. You already do." "You heard Nathaniel," I said. "He's left. It's too late." Mom picked up the slim black box that contained the condoms, opened it, and looked at its contents. She put the lid back on and handed it to me, and she softly said, "Mama birds kick baby birds out of the nest, or else they never learn to fly. It's time for you to fly. It's time for me to fly too. Don't you get it? I've held us both back. Go find Nathaniel and tell him I'm sorry. I'm going to cut ties with both of you for a while, because I need to grow up too." Mom picked up one of the rose petals and walked away. I didn't know how to feel about seeing her leave, but a tiny part of me felt hope. I tried calling Nathaniel. Nobody picked up. I turned to the bellhop and said, "I'll pick up my car in a few minutes. I'm going to the bar to get a drink." "Yes, sir," he said. "Leave everything to me." I gave him a tip and took the elevator to the main floor, taking one last look at the wreckage of what should have been the happiest night of my life. I got home from the Regal at about 10. Our apartment was scary quiet. Nathaniel wasn't there. His suitcase and some of his clothes were gone. I was alone. Where was he? We needed to talk before this ended our love. I couldn't shake the gut feeling that it had been too late this morning when I demanded Mom come tonight. I was an idiot. I wish I could redo today. What could I do to fix this mess? What could I do to bring Nathaniel back? It might be too late already. I had to do something, but what? He had left our apartment. Most likely, Nathaniel would next visit when I was at work sometime and take the rest of his stuff. What if I never see him again? Our apartment was scary quiet. I couldn't sleep, so I took out all the roses and found glasses and vases and whatever could hold water and put the flowers around the apartment. It smelled of roses. An idea began to percolate. Nathaniel had been planning tonight for 2 months, including reservations for 2 at several places. I bet there was even a ski lodge somewhere. Maybe there were clues I had never noticed. I checked the garbage cans. I checked random stacks of papers, and then went to his desk. He had some papers tucked inside the drawer, including an itinerary for the day, plus receipts and reservation confirmations. It had a list of the gifts, including the snowboard, the Regal reservation number, the flight numbers, and most importantly, the Nevada West Ski Lodge 4-day reservation package at the Mount Rose Ski Resort. Maybe I could still salvage this disaster. It's a 7-hour drive to Mount Rose. Who needs sleep? I loaded up my car with all his gifts and some roses, and at a little past midnight, I stopped at the store and bought a lot of caffeine. Every hour, I texted him a picture of a rose on the hood of my car, and I said, "I'm on my way. Can't wait to go snowboarding with you." Nathaniel didn't return any texts. Maybe he'd gotten drunk. Maybe he was asleep somewhere. Maybe he didn't want to talk to me. Maybe I was wasting my time. I arrived at the ski lodge about 8 in the morning. My mind had replayed the events of the entire night, over and over. What if Nathaniel had left me? He had every right. I took the reservation confirmation page to the front desk and said, I'm supposed to be checking in later today, but I got here early. Is there any way you can let me in now?" They checked their records and said, "If you have a very slow breakfast." That gave me time to brood and a plan. With the beginnings of a desperate idea, I walked over to a nearby bakery and bought a dozen fresh bagels with golden cheddar cheese melted on top, and many, many pockets of cream cheese, the first of 4 stops. About an hour later, they let me into the room. Hardwood walls, a bearskin rug on the floor, a gas fireplace, a green plaid comforter. They had made it look more like a bed and breakfast than a hotel. Time to put my plan into action. I took a deep breath and sent the first text. "Mom's out of the picture. Permanently. I need to talk to you because a lot has happened. Please don't tell me it's too late for us, because I need you right now more than ever." I included a picture of my shoes and socks in front of the lit fireplace. Second text. "I want to apologize for a lot of stuff, especially for yesterday. I love you." I included a picture of my shoes and socks and shirt in front of the lit fireplace. Third text. "Guess where I drove last night? Nevada West Ski Lodge. It's my turn to surprise you. Please hurry. I love you." I included a picture of my shoes, socks, shirt, and pants in front of the lit fireplace. Fourth text. "I have a lot of things to figure out, and I'd like you to be with me while I figure them out. I love you." I included a picture of my shoes, socks, shirt, pants, and boxer briefs in front of the lit fireplace. Fifth text. "If you'd like some company, I'm waiting for you. By the way, the apron strings are shredded. Forever. I love you. Please come back." I included a picture of my shoes, socks, pants, shirts, boxer briefs, and the 2 black diamond condoms, all lined up in front of the lit fireplace. For good measure, I included a postcard of the resort, a rose, and my naked foot. Nathaniel hadn't responded to any text, even the ones from late last night. He didn't want anything to do with me. Because of Mom, why would anyone want anything to do with me? It hurt, and it hurt, and it hurt some more. I ate a fresh cheddar cheese bagel with a lot of cream cheese and stared into the fire for a long, long time. Nathaniel wasn't coming. Exhausted from the nearly 8-hour drive, I crawled between the cool sheets and immediately fell asleep. Maybe life would look better when I woke up. That means I better stay asleep for about 5 years. I don't know how many hours I'd been asleep when the door softly creaked open. A figure with a suitcase quietly entered and looked at me before he gently closed the door. He stripped, tossing his clothes by mine, and crawled into the bed with me. I glanced at my phone. 30 unread texts waited for me, all from Nathaniel. I touched a few buttons on my phone, and it started playing our song. "I got your text," Nathaniel whispered. "Did you spend all night driving here?" I kissed him on the nose, sat up, reached for the box of bagels, and handed him one. I then whispered, "This is your first hint." He set the bagel aside, and, with only the fire lighting the room, we began healing our relationship. Epilogue. 2 months later, Mom mailed me a postcard. She'd transferred to Miami and had met a guy. If all worked out, she was going to fly in for Christmas, bringing him with her. We'd dine at the Regal, and she volunteered to pay, since she wrecked the last time. Mom and I went low contact, so we could both discover who we were. Nathaniel and I traveled to every ski resort in the western USA. As soon as he graduated, we married. Mom and I have a healthy relationship, as long as we're separated by 1,000 miles or more. Nathaniel and I are happiest when we are separated only by a sheet. Maybe not even that much. The end. Thank you, friends, for listening. I'm Gio, author and reader of this story. If you'd like to hear more stories about gay men falling in love, stop by my channel. I kind of like writing. A lot. And guess what I like writing about? I post a new story every Wednesday, so come and join me. Peace.